this power tailgate is a little slow to open with the key. So of course I want to do a review and tell you more about this car, but I thought rather than just have my normal format, I actually want to take this car out in the open, out at different places, and actually see and tell you how it feels, both in terms of how it drives and also in terms of its features. So today I'm actually going to take it out and trying to find a unique and nice place where I can watch a good sunset. It's actually getting quite hot over here, so let's get going. The sound system and the speakers overall in this car sound incredibly good. They are loud, profile is super wide, they really sound good. And what you're playing can be displayed over here on this nice big massive touchscreen. Anyways, I want to quickly show you where I am planning to head to today. This is a place which is about 2 hours away from Pune, about 67-70 kilometers away. Of course, there's a little more which it's not showing right now because that is complete off-road. This car is super smart. In fact, it is so smart that it can read road signs, it can read and show you when to do an overtake when it is not an overtaking zone. It also has collision warnings, it also has lane departure warnings. The minute I start drifting off my lane, the steering suddenly vibrates and tells me that I am leaving my lane. That is if I have not given the indicator, which means I have to give the indicator for the car not to warn me. Apart from that, this center screen also is super handy because whenever I put the indicator to change the lane, it switches to the camera on that side, and the camera actually shows me and covers my entire blind spot to tell me if there's anything over there or not. Honestly, if we actually, us Indians, if we actually abide by what all information the Safari is giving me in terms of where to overtake, where not to, what speed to follow in which area, collision, the lane assist, everything, this car and its driver are probably going to be the safest people on the roads. So I'm over here currently at McDonald's waiting for my order to come. In the meantime, I wanted to show you something really cool. While this screen over here definitely shows your Apple CarPlay or Android Auto and the maps, what you can actually do is you can take that same map and display it over here on your front instrument cluster. You have multiple options where you can even remove the entire dials, and your speed will be visible over here at a small little corner while you get all the rest of the information, and the entire screen will become a full screen navigation system. I've got my McDonald's Super Slurpee with some nice gems in it, but that's not the point. Just listen how nice and quiet it is currently over here on the inside. But wait, everything is just about to change. And now it's all pretty much gone, isn't it? So what I mean to say is that the interior noise cancellation, noise isolation rather, of the Safari is actually really good. Once you put those windows up, mostly all the sound, up to 70 to 80% of the sound is completely cut off, and you actually feel quite isolated and quite distant from all the bings and bongs and traffic on the outside. Really nice. I like. Adventurous is good, but it does have some disadvantage. Like for example, when you're trying to look for a spot where you can park and take some nice photos and videos, or just tell you guys about it, sometimes you come across roads which are dead ends. Now the thing is that this is a big car, and looking outside the car for one person is just not enough at times, where you really don't get the judgment of how far the drop is on this side or on this side. So this is a narrow cement road and there's like a 2 feet drop on both sides. If I go in it, I'll need to call a crane. Thankfully, I have this toy or this tool super handy with me, which is a 360 view, which has a top view of the car as well. And what I'm going to try doing is I'm trying to reverse using only these screens as my information. I hope I find out if this is actually helpful or not before it's a little too late. But it looks like it's trying to get me out of trouble without a problem. Man, this thing is super handy. This top view, I tell you, this top view is insanely good. And yeah, I'm out. This is spot number 2. Now that is a beautiful, beautiful sunset view. But you know what? I don't feel like I'm done yet, because I've traveled about 70 to 75 kilometers and done a little bit of light off-roading, and I don't feel tired at all. As I said, this car with its suspensions and the seats is a very, very comfortable place to be. So 75 kilometers is literally nothing. So what I'm planning to do now is head down even further into Mahabaleshwar to catch something to eat. That's going to be probably another 80 to 100 kilometers from here, and then the return journey is going to be about 110, 120 kilometers. I don't think it's going to be a problem, but let's see. It's been a beautiful sunset and now it's time to head on. Strawberry with cream at Mapro after maybe 10 years or more. So the Safari, man, I have been very, very surprised by how it handled the Ghat section which came before Mahabaleshwar. I actually did not imagine such a big car to be this kind. I mean, it's not as nimble as a sports car, obviously, but it is a very nimble car for its size. It actually shrinks itself around you, so you don't feel its girth, you don't feel its length, and it's got surprisingly very little body roll for its size, where the car is not actually understeering too much. It's actually a really nice experience. I mean, for what it is worth, that Safari actually can be a very pleasurable driving experience. So that was actually quite an eventful trip, and this particular trip from today morning till evening has kind of changed my perspective on the Safari a lot. I'm going to try summing it up tomorrow, because today I have to head back now to Pune, and that's going to be another 2.5 hour drive depending on the traffic. It's a weekend, so you never know. But tomorrow morning what I'm going to do is sum up this car for you and also show you some of the quirky, some of the really nice and some of the annoying features that it has on the inside. Good night. So, just got myself a cup of coffee, and now I am here to tell you a little bit more about what is interesting and what is not so interesting about this car. Now, the first thing that I want to tell you is that this is actually a really nice and a really comfortable place to sit, with the use of some really good materials like this wood finish over here, the faux leather seats as well as the ventilated seats, and the overall cabin quality feels really nice and really premium. The interior is quiet, it's comfortable, and you have tons of features around you. And this interior quality is kind of surprising to me, because this is the first time that I have actually driven a premium segment Tata car. Unlike their entry-level cars, like I own a Tiago EV myself, unlike their entry-level cars, the quality of the interiors, the fit and finish of everything is way better. But the best part and the most handy part for me has been that map overlay, which you can actually put over here on your instrument cluster, which will show you the exact directions where to go. I think that is one of the most handy things, especially when you're navigating on unknown roads. You don't have to look here and there every time. You just focus on what's in front of you. This touchscreen also in the center is super crisp, very responsive and high resolution, and doing things on it actually becomes very easy because of that. Another thing that's going to be super handy in the Indian hot climate are the ventilated seats. And the ventilated seat is not only for the front driver and passenger, but they are also for your middle row seats as well. Okay, I'm going to quickly take my coffee, head over to the back and show you some more features. We have one problem. There's no space to keep these cup holders at the back. Apart from that, this back seat captain chair is pretty incredible. It's got ton of adjustments both from the front as well as for the recline. And the best part is both of these chairs also have cooling in them, so they are ventilated as well. As you can see, I have ton of space over here at the back also. This car also has USB ports everywhere. There are two USB ports right next to the driver. There are another two USB ports which are inside the central armrest. Over here at the back for me, I have two other USB ports. Then at the extreme back, we have two more USB ports. So in total, this car has 8 USB ports for sitting 7 people. Also, one really nice thing over here at the back is you can adjust the front passenger seat right from here. There are buttons on the side of the seat which you press, the seat goes ahead, so you get more legroom for yourself. That said though, not everything is perfect. There are a few niggles here and there. Despite its really nice and premium quality, there are a few creaks and rattles that you hear from the interiors, especially when you're driving. Also, this power tailgate is a little slow to open with the key. Also, this terrain selection button is the fanciest button in the entire car, which also has its own digital display. But it's the least used button in the entire car as well. And also, the rear visibility isn't that great. You can see over here. So here's the thing. I think that the Tata Safari is actually a very, very good car. And it is the kind of car which has actually come leaps and bounds from where its original beginnings were and for what a Tata used to be like 10-12 years ago. But overall, as a package, this has to be one of the most convincing Tata product that I have been in till date, with the fact that this has to be one of the most comfortable car in this segment. That together makes for an incredible driving experience where it really feels quiet, it feels comfortable, it feels unbothered by all the bad roads and the bad surfaces, or the rocky and the dusty and the broken road surfaces all across not just Pune but most of the urban rural kind of areas together combined. And that is where this car excels so much, where you don't have to bother, you don't have to worry about putting the car through bad roads or worry about your own spine at some places. This car will just take it all and make sure that you as the driver or the passengers inside are sitting in absolute comfort. Now of course, this car is expensive. This particular variant which I am driving is the 6D Accomplished, which is 2 levels below the top of the line version, and it's roughly about 26 lakhs. So it is a costly car. But what isn't? Any other car in this segment, they are all costly, and some cars have even shot above 30 lakhs for the top end variant. So it sort of fits still in within whatever price segment this car is targeting itself to be, while at the same time offering a ton of features, a ton of functionality, of which most of them are going to be super handy and useful to you, while there are some features which kind of make this car future proof for the next 4-5 years as well. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to catch you in the next one. Till then,